Oh, hey everybody, what's going on? I'm just having a sandwich here, and we just got back. Picked some Stereaceae, which is the we call that the other group of people call that the false turkey tail. I call it the poor man's Rishi because when it's in bloom and it's just got done raining, it looks like a really thin Rishi to me coming out the side of the log. So I collected a bunch of them, and I use them for sandwiches and stews and things like that, and chips, and well, I thought today I'd make a sandwich. So as you can see, I got some on here, and while I'm kicking back having a sandwich, you guys can watch some tips that I'm going to share with you guys today about guys and gals, right? Hopefully you're not too hungry, on how to prepare this and clean them up to where you can utilize them for food. It's the most common fungi in the Ozarks. Oh, you like my hat? This is my chef's hat. Right? Remember this new chef in town? But yeah, while I'm having a sandwich, go ahead and enjoy some of the footage and some of the explanations and techniques that I use to prepare this wonderful. I find the flavor refreshing and very, it's kind of rich. So, tastes like a cross between beef jerky and shrooms. And you also have to remember what tree it's on, to the host. What kind of wood it's on, because it'll take the flavor from the tree and pull it into the fungi. So if you like, certain types of flavors from woods, if you smoke, or cook with, then that could be interesting too. But I've cleaned a few of these up, and I want to bring something to your attention. As you notice, this is about how thin it is. Okay, this is about how thin it is, and it rained heavy for the last 3 days. We've had some flooding. As you know, the consistency, it's chewy. If you steam these, they kind of break apart a little bit. I usually cut them down the middle, get rid of all the bad, the stem, and put them on my sandwich. Anyhow, so yeah, just kick back, check out some of the techniques that I use, and hey, maybe you can come out here and we'll make a sandwich together. But it's thinly sliced, basically already, and you don't have to do much. So yeah, so kick back and enjoy some of the video footage, and hey, if you got any cool recipes, yeah, share them. Make a comment or two. Thanks. Okay, after you get your Stereaceae here, see how we need to prepare these? We're going to use these in a sandwich. So we got to prep these a little bit. It's not quite ready. I mean, you could eat them like that and just throw away the bad spots. See the stem piece right here? So as you can tell, I have I rinsed these out already in this bowl and washed them, get all the dirt and stuff knocked off of them. So now what we need to do is cut all the undesirable parts off to make it more tender, so we can use it in our sandwich. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw the undesirable pieces down the side right here. So we throw those in a compost pile. So what you're going to do is, see the stem right here is kind of tough, got a lot of dirt on it. Or it's not, I washed most of these by hand. I rinsed them off and strained them. You can do that in your dunking bag, or you can use a strainer, depends on where you're at. If you're out in the woods, like I am most of the time, you're going to want to use a dunking bag. And I usually catch rainwater in my bowl, and then I use that to rinse off my make tea and rinse off my food and stuff. So but the parts I'm fixing to cut off, I usually keep those and I do stuff with them because it's got nutrients in it. We can use that for a compost for plants, or we can throw it in the fire and make ash out of it. It's got a lot of mineral content to it. So what we're going to do is go through all these pieces here and cut off the undesirables. Make sure they are clean looking, right? Get these about sandwich slices if you guys out there like eating sandwiches and stuff, but you know what, you don't like eating animals, and you like the taste of really expensive jerky, and high quality shrooms. You get the best of both worlds with this one. It's the most common mushroom fungi, excuse me, I say that correctly. It's the most common fungi I've seen here in the Ozarks. It grows everywhere, so it's got multi-uses, many uses. So we cut off all the undesirable pieces, but as you can see, that's pretty much what it looks like. See that? Smells like a mushroom. It's thin. It has the consistency of sliced thin roast beef. That's what it reminds me of. I'm not really into eating animals, so this is a healthy alternative because your body's actually not inclined to digest animals. There we go. There, see? But after you wash these off, you notice they're already thinly sliced. You can also probably season these and air dry them and bake them, and then you have chips if you're trying to get away from potatoes, because I don't eat potatoes. So this is a healthy alternative. See, thinly sliced already. I don't have to do any slicing, except for just cut it with my skizzers here. Go through the pieces you want. Make sure they're decent looking. Cut off all the tough spots, because this is tender, and it just rained, and these just grew. So I got them, like, you know, right when they're about ripe and ready to go. So they're tender and they're chewy, so they'll fall apart if you cook with these. If you go to steam them and then put them on your sandwich, they'll probably be more tender and easier to chew on. I just eat them just like this. Wash them, make sure they weren't anywhere questionable. Pull them apart like this. Rinse them off real good. Cut all the bad spots off of them. Put them on my sandwich. I eat them raw most of the time. But if you steam them and drain the juices off of them, and then throw them in your stew pot, and then drain the juice off and drink that. That has a lot of nutrients in it as well, and that'll get you a long way. But it has a really good smell to it. It keeps a long time. It'll actually dry out and turn into chips, and then you could cook it and reconstitute. Like I said, I just cut off the tough parts, which is mostly bark, so it's not really there you go. See, now that's what we're looking at. I just got done actually washing these off, scrubbing them real good. I mean, I usually, if they're clean, it just rained and it's up in the air, I'll eat them right off the tree. Haven't had any problems with them that way. I just thought it'd be really cool to do it this way real quick. Pardon me, it is Friday evening, we got traffic, so you might hear a couple vehicles every once in a while. I live in an old farm area, which has now become the entrance into a university. So I got all these kids coming down here trying to learn how to do what I'm doing. But most of the time they just want to draw pictures of it. They don't even really want to come out here and look. Oh my God, it's too hot out there. I'm going to get my nails dirty. My shoes, my Nikes, my car. My car. Why have you forsaken me? Okay, there you go. Put that on there. Just keep all the pieces you don't want on the side there. And like I said, we'll use that as compost. Boil them. Strain the juice off. Use it to water our plants, which comes in pretty, which works pretty well actually. I brought a lot of people's plants that were dying off back to life. There you go, nutrients. Okay, after we get done cutting these up, getting all this tough pieces off, the parts that we're going to use for, no, that was not good. The parts that we're going to use for food, and the parts we're going to use for, like I said, compost tea, ash, some other kind of a ingredient. We just throw those on the side. And you're left with pretty much that amount. That's all bark and the tough pieces. Now we can get on with the sandwich. What we'll do with this, I usually just throw this in a compost pile or on top of my plants. All right, on with the next part. Well, when you get done with that, oops, excuse me. Now it's time to make a sandwich, right? As you can see, this sits pretty good in there. So if you need to rinse this off a few more times. But I just throw my pieces in there, just like that. It'll dry out. It looks a little bit better. Don't have all them tough spots on there. Now let's make a sandwich, right? And I suppose you're asking yourself, oh, hey Glenn, what kind of bread do you like? My favorite actually is this Labrio, there we go, I'm sorry. Labrio jalapeno cheddar loaf sliced. That's actually my favorite bread I like to use. That one, and there's another one with olives and Swiss that's like this. And I just heat this up and toast it, but it rained really good the last 2 days, so I can't perform a fire right now to toast my bread. So what I usually do is get a few slices out here. The middle pieces are pretty good. So he's got a cheese and jalapeno and some pimentos in there. So we'll get us a couple slices out here. And oh, look out. I like using this stainless steel strainer. I got it at a thrift store for, I think, 75 cents. It's one of those heavy duty ones too. So anyhow, we're going to put our fungi right here. And it kind of looks like sliced roast beef. And I just don't like eating animals, and I think this is a healthy alternative. So we've got our bread pieces here. And what the hell. Let's make 3. Somebody might show up, huh? Might want to have a... Then I usually use the gourmet spicy mustard, but I don't have any, so we're just going to do this old school. And tomatoes. So we're going to slice this few tomatoes here. And this is my Field and Stream knife I got for $8.50 at Dick's Sporting Goods. And it's still holding up pretty good 2 years later. Thanks, Field and Stream. And I just put my tomatoes on there like this. If you're asking me where I get tomatoes in Missouri, a lot of your pantries give these away. You can just walk in the front, they give away bread and tomatoes and other kinds of stuff that grows here, but I'm not too far away to get it. Especially a lot of your Amish baked goodies, Swiss bread and stuff. Okay, you get your tomatoes going here. I don't have any mustard. I think I used it all up. Okay, at that point, get your knife, put it back in its sheath. Now you're asking me, well, what does that look like? Well, you got your tomatoes. First things first, let's lay a couple of these on here. And it tastes like shrooms and roast beef. So, like I said, you can use the gourmet spicy mustard. That's what I prefer. Or you can use the ranch, an ever-loving Tabasco combination. See, that's what it looks like. So I'll make a couple of these, get this out of the way. If you get them right when they're ready to go, they're tender. And if you really have a problem with them, what I would recommend is you just steam them. And like I said, if you really want another alternative, you can season them and then bake them as chips, because they're already pre-cut. And they have a high amount of nutrients and other minerals in it. So they taste just like mushrooms and beef jerky at that point. So we got some left here. Yeah, I got some neighbors that think they're on the way to a mud bog or something. Okay, at this point, put our sandwiches up here. There we go. Yeah, I got some chips up here somewhere. Clean your work area, put your knife up always. Don't leave anything out in case it gets dark. You can't find it or you don't want to cut yourself. And always hang your bread up and put your food up so the critters don't get it. Just remember that. So, got some Pringles here. So anyhow, at that point, there really wasn't much work involved. We just picked those, brought them back. I put them in my pocket, walked them back to the camp. We just washed them off with the water that we got. Got this water from the rainwater. It rained, like I said last night, really good. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you want to put some mustard or something on there, I don't recommend mayonnaise. I don't like mayonnaise. Let's see what I got. Got anything I can put on there? No? Aha! I do have one thing. Alright. I got one pack. This is what I recommend with it. Spicy brown mustard. I'm telling you. Only got one pack, so let's make it count. It doesn't spoil as bad, and you don't have to worry about getting sick like you would off some of those other condiments. But the spicy brown mustard combination with these mushrooms and tomatoes, it's pretty sick. I'm telling you, man, it's awesome. All right, at that point, we're pretty much done. At that point, guys, gals out there, we're pretty much done. And this is pretty much what you're looking at when you get done with your sandwich. Okay. As you notice, that does look like thinly sliced roast beef, and it also tastes like it doesn't taste like the shrooms that you normally, those white ones. This has a lot better flavor and consistency. Like I said, you won't be disappointed. Just kind of follow my rules, what I just did, and you won't be disappointed. I actually recommend toasting the bread. For better results. Toasting the bread and maybe steaming the shrooms a little bit. And possibly cut the shrooms, the fungi down, cut them in half and put them on there. They're easier to chew that way. Yeah, it's pretty good. So anyhow, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this gives you some helpful hints to do with the Ozark's most common fungi. Seriously, the Ozark's most common fungi, Stereaceae. No, Stereaceae, excuse me. Yeah, the Ozark's most common fungi. in my personal opinion. Yeah, not too bad. I should have steamed them. Yeah, should have steamed them and toasted my bread like I did last time. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Leave comments, subscribe, and yeah, share your recipes with me if you got any cool little Ozark Laplander camp cooking extravaganza recipes. See you around.